Welcome to episode 5 of the Slab podcast. Appreciate all of you legends. This is where the grades matter and there are no rules. Of course, we appreciate the sport. Love all of it. Appreciate all of you. It's been awesome. Oak, it goes without saying, we definitely appreciate all of the support. So hit the like button, hit the sub button if you're having a good time. But I got my butt completely kicked by my friend, completely obliterated in our getting spicy with it topic last week. Like no contest. Within like 10 minutes of uploading the last video, you literally destroyed me. I think I sent you a screenshot. You had 11 likes to my like 3 likes, and now I think you almost have 20 likes, which is awesome.
Wow.
So yeah, that's pretty damn good. Obviously you wanted to stir the pot a little bit. That's okay. We're gonna talk about it. So your comment, Mr. Professor Oak. Now we're 1-1. It's even. So hopefully I can come ahead and we don't have another person beat us both out, but we'll see. But your comment. So not every Pokemon YouTuber is in the hobby, but most are in the market. You, sir, are trying to start some shit. Real quick, if you could define what the hobby is, I guess, for you, or how you're picturing it in this saying, that would be good. And kind of maybe elaborate what your thoughts are there. And then I will see if I want to venture down this dark path with you.
I think this could be a whole live stream just by itself. But yeah, thanks for the introduction. Hi, everyone. Professor Oak. The comment that I made, I think it got upvoted or liked or whatever you want to call it so much because I think people agree with me. I don't think it's a case of just wanting to hear out the story and the drama and stuff. I think resonates with people. First of all, I think what we're going to do is figure out what is the hobby, right? So not every Pokemon YouTuber is in the hobby. The hobby, for me, is people that care about what we're doing. So the buying, the selling, the collecting, the art appreciation, the illustrator appreciation, the rarity, the quality, the language. Like there's a million different data points to analyze, right? And every single one of them, there's people that can attach to some of them. So some people collect just PSA 10s, or some people will just collect Pikachus, or some people will just collect a certain illustrator or a whole set, or old or new. You know, there's so many things that people are passionate about and enjoy. Excuse me. Now, the hobby for me is all those different things combined. It's all that like just love and appreciation and like being active within it. So even if you're not buying it, just loving the artwork and talking about it and like having conversations and live streams and whatever. For me, you're in the hobby. Like if you're bringing net positive and you're someone that's contributing as well as taking from people within it, I think you're in the hobby. I think there's a lot of different directions you could go with that. But that's kind of like how I view it. I don't know what the true definition really is. And I don't know if anyone really knows.
Here it is. I'll give it to you. An activity done regularly in one's leisure time for pleasure. That's what a hobby is. So
maybe that's what I'm trying to sum up.
Yeah, it doesn't say it can't include money. But you do it in your leisurely time to have fun. Like you said, pleasure, love. It's something you're there to enjoy.
And I think there's people that I can tell don't enjoy the actual cards and the sets and the slabs and the sports cards or comics or games or whatever it is. Like there's people that aren't particularly passionate and pleasured by it. More so, there's opportunity there, right? There's something there, and that's the overruling factor. I do think there's people in the hobby that are like got their toes in the hobby, and I think that's okay. Like to be in the hobby, whatever level, there's got to be rankings, right? There's people that are like really in the hobby. Like I think of like Gem in Pokemon. He's in the hobby, right? Like he's pretty invested there. And then you've got I'm not gonna name drop. You got people that like are maybe not so much in the hobby, and they are in the second part of that. I would say most are in the market, right? So it's not so much the hobby or the market. I think you can be in both. Like I'm sure Gem Mint sells some cards. I'm sure he buys and grades and like does that stuff. Like I've seen some of the returns that he has. We all do it. I buy, I sell. Like I fund my hobby with the market. Like that's what I do. With auctions or buying ads or consignments, whatever. Like in all the different ways that we do it. I give stuff away. I enjoy it. I did a live stream last week and gave a bunch of way too much away than what I should have, but I enjoyed every second of it and I have no regrets. It's just fun. So, and I'm not saying I'm the ideal perfect hobby person for it because I'm a net negative on myself. Like I'm definitely like spend too much and waste too much than what I should, but that part of it is the fun part in some respect for me, not just the collecting. So yeah, I'm not saying like this isn't me on a pedestal saying I'm the perfect one in the hobby. I think it's more so like just be careful of who you're taking advice and direction and education from when maybe sometimes they're not really in the hobby. They're there for like the opportunity that's available and it's working for them. What are your thoughts?
No name drop, huh? You're not gonna give us the juice? No, I'm joking. We'll see if we can get out of here in the next 30 minutes. But I don't know, man. Would you then consider somebody who's a very net seller, say 95% seller out of the hobby and only in the market? Or
I think that's the tricky part, right? Like, is the 5%, are they, by your definition, are they pleasured enough that they feel and would consider themselves in the hobby? Or would they consider themselves a store that doesn't interact with buyers and they literally just sell them the item? Like I think of people like Mason, who some may say are not in the hobby because like he doesn't have a huge collection on the back of his wall and like Funko Pops like behind his desk and stuff like that, but like he interacts with everybody I know in the hobby. Like he's in the hobby just in a different way. Like you don't have to be buying and collecting. Like he's very invested as a person in so many ways, and all day every day all he's doing is interacting with everybody else in the hobby. Like that is a very beautiful like aspect of the hobby for me, which may be viewed like differently to like someone like me that wastes money buying like Pokemon Go packs and like displays the 20-cent coin on my shelf. Like that doesn't make me any better or worse than him. It's just different areas and corners of the hobby. I think what differs and what kind of like segregates the people that are in the hobby and in the market, in the hobby and not in the market, or not in the hobby and just in the market, is kind of what you were saying, like the pleasure side. Like where is it that their intentions lie, and like where's their heart and their passion at? Like it's all emotional for me. Like the hobby is not an actual real thing. Like it's just the emotional concept of it. So I don't know where it's gray, obviously the line. Like I don't know where that black and white line lies, honestly. I think it's just opinion from everyone. Everyone could give different opinions on it, different thoughts. But for me, like you got to be doing something good and be enjoying it to be in the hobby. And most of them are in the market, and that's okay. Some are just in the market.
Yeah. It's like you said. I think it's a pretty gray line between it, and I think those people that are just in the market, it's like beautiful ecosystem that they're selling to these people that want to buy the packs. You think distribution companies, obviously, they're just in the market. They're not in the hobby. They're literally in it to make money. And it's got all those different levels going down from distribution that there's all those other people. I know, just throw a number, maybe 50% of Whatnot streamers are maybe not in the hobby, but that's just random. Drip Shop, all these different companies that are just selling. I know of a few Whatnot streamers that were never touched Pokemon cards in their life, but they're good at sales and they could talk on stream. So now they're pumping that stuff, so they're in the market. But I like the mixture of all that stuff. But yeah, I think somebody that's in the hobby, that has the knowledge, is somebody who you'd want to listen to, not somebody who's just in the market. Like, obviously, I think there's both. I think there's also the good coming out of the people that are just in the market because maybe they have studied the absolute crap out of freaking Pokemon markets or video game markets or whatever, and they just know it like the back of their hand. So for me, it's is a tough one, honestly. This topic, this question, because I can't think of somebody who's at least a YouTuber. So your comment says every Pokemon YouTuber in the hobby. So not every Pokemon YouTuber is in the hobby, and it's tough for me because I guess my wings are not spread that far. And I guess I suggest to all of you, maybe just do it. Go out there, look up different PokeTubers, and maybe just go support them. Completely sidetrack from what I'm talking about, but go out there and do it because I know Oak's been promoting it quite a bit. Just go out there, find a new YouTuber, and drop them a like, give them a comment, give them some support. Somebody who's got 50 views on a video, that'd be really cool just to make their day. It makes everybody's day when you can do something like that. But this, getting back on topic now, your topic, it's tough. Like I said, I guess maybe I don't follow enough, and maybe I've put myself in a really nice niche where I only follow people in the hobby and I don't worry about some of the other, because I don't follow any big PokeTubers. The biggest PokeTuber I'm subscribed to is probably Mason Cardinal Gaming. So that's probably, and that's what I think it is. Like, some of those bigger channels, they get wrapped up in everything going on, but it's I don't know. Waiting for you to name drop here.
I don't think I need to. I think people know who I'm talking about.
Oh boy.
Speaking to what you just talked about, though, I saw, who do we have? Ancient Mew made a video. Think Forward. I saw he just did one. Danny Zard. Like, there's been quite a few people that just started making videos because I asked people to start making videos and like get involved and enjoy it. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, open some packs, grab your phone, just record it. So if anyone is listening, like, Slab Podcast will subscribe to you. I'm telling you right now, you got 3 subscriptions built into this. Like, I'll subscribe and watch every single one of your videos. Like, just get it done. I love it. I love watching new people join in and seeing like their little niche, what they're going to do, what they're going to talk about. Try and find something different. Try and talk about something people aren't talking about. Try and open packs like everyone else. Whatever. Like, just do something. You don't have to look up just to like Dagreenshiz and Mason. Like you can do it too. You can be a part of it. Like, I was an absolute nobody a year ago. It's been a year now since I've been making videos. I was just a mod on a few channels, just like in chats talking. Like, some of you probably remember me from back in the day. Like, I was in a lot of live streams and very active in like helping Pokemon YouTubers. And I was like, screw it, I'll start making videos. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy it. I want to be a part of that. I did it, and it's like literally the best hobby decision I've ever made in my life. I've had way much more fun doing this than I have with a lot of the stuff. Not all of it, but a lot of the stuff I've done with cards and slabs and stuff. So I've enjoyed it. And I mean, I'm sitting here today with you because of it. And I remember watching your first video, Josh, and not your first video, the first video that I watched of you, and you're in your basement at the old house, and you're talking about how freezing it was, and you're excited to like move in the future. You're planning your move and everything, and yeah, I never imagined being here now. So like you just never know where it's going to take you. You know, from that first video, first conversation. So I urge you, building on what Josh said, like go for it, go do it.
Yep. Don't look back. Just keep moving forward. That's all you can do.
So what's your spicy topic this week?
You can't ask me that. I went first last week. That's bullshit. So
I won. I get to
no,
to decide.
that's not the way it goes. I want to see you go and completely whiff on this one. So, moment you've all been waiting for, the getting spicy with it topics. So just so you guys know, go comment down below a spicy topic. Somebody needs to beat us. We can't win 2 weeks in a row and keep this thing rolling, but it happened. So post something spicy. The most liked comment will be the first topic in the next video. You get to go first because I went first last week.
We got to really emphasize that though, because I didn't see a whole lot of spicy topics posted last week. Like I don't want to be the guy fighting Josh each week for like the spiciest topic. You guys, whatever it is, a thought about a card, a set, a grader, a whatever is happening in the news, a website, a Pokemon tubers, like something like just throw something in there off the cuff, and we're gonna talk. You're not even gonna need to talk about it. We're the ones that are gonna have the conversation about it. So like, don't stress about an outcome because we're taking the hit. So don't worry about that. Yep. But mine, I'll go first then. I mean, I guess winner will take the lead. I'm gonna drop that I won a few times because I'm proud of winning something for once.
Last time.
But I'm gonna do one which I can probably back up with data, and I'm gonna say, no matter what you're doing in terms of buying, selling, collecting, building a house, whatever you're doing with slabs, you should use PSA. I'm just going to straight up say it. Use PSA. That's going to sound real harsh to the other guys. I know there's opportunity there, but I can tell you I've had way more good experiences with PSA than any other grading company. And I've had more bad experiences with other companies than I have with PSA. So
that's a really long comment.
I'm gonna
hold you to typing that whole son of a bitch out.
Yeah, I did talk way too much on that. Sorry, guys. Use PSA for grading is what I'm going to say.
Oh man, sorry, I got to do this to you. No, I'm joking. Hold up. Here we go. Lorcana is going to be the biggest disappointment as it comes to TCGs in 2023.
I want to talk about that. You did this last week. I kind of want to talk about that. We need a runner-up conversation because your topic last week I wanted to talk about too.
I don't even remember what it was. What was it?
I don't remember, but I remember I wanted to talk about it. I'm way too tired to remember.
Yeah. So we could always look. We'll do the most unpopular. We'll do a video where we just go look at the old unpopular ones that didn't win and maybe make a whole video on them. Could do that pretty easily.
Maybe we could do that as a live. That could be a live stream. That would be fun.
Yep.
A little meme live stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I won't respond.
Nope.
I'll leave it for the upvotes.
So if you want to take us down the journey of the PSA news, not getting into what your topic was by any means, but what's heading over it? What's going on over there?
Yeah, got some news. Oh, actually, a little bit of news which I didn't note down is Z&G knows I exist. Did you see did you post a video? Who was it that posted a video of them talking about us pretending that they were
Swami.
Oh my god, I was dying.
Yep.
I was like, he called himself Professor. I just lost it. Absolutely. That was like one of the peak moments in YouTube hobby for me. That brought me so much joy. Them just like knowing I existed and that this existed and that like they were aware of it. It was so fun. That was so fun for me. So thank you if either of you.
Real quick shout out to those guys. They just were on the eBay front page. I don't know if you saw that.
No way.
Yeah, they were on, like it said, go consign cards with Z&G Emporium, front page of eBay. So he posted it in his Instagram story. Good stuff, man. Doing good stuff. So
I did
move.
miss that. I did not see that. Yeah, so that's super exciting and not surprising at all. I mean, they're obviously doing incredibly well with like the system they have set up. Great, just process and like the way that they're doing it, and obviously like they're fun about it too. So I think that helps. But yeah, I appreciate them. I've been watching them for a long time. I remember watching that old video of Lauren doing the scare cam, and I used to jump into like his live streams and be like, "Hey, when's Lauren gonna do scare cam again?" I love like scaring people. That's like my little like thing I do at home. And yeah, like I'm messed up, and like she like used to that stuff, but it's taking a completely different direction now. So anyway, diverting away from the news there, but yeah, there was a little bit of news that was fun. So PSA jumped into $15 again, on off, hot cold. We don't know what's going on with these prices. They announced 19 at the beginning of the year, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, why is that the new price, 19? Shouldn't it be a bit lower? Shouldn't it be a bit more reasonable? And then, hey ho, they did analyze the numbers from GemRate, and in January, they are the only grading company that had a decline in January. How many they graded? Excuse me, which I really feel, I'm sure you agree, but I really feel like that's part of the pricing. I think pricing was a real issue. I think if they would have been at 15, 14, something like that, I think they probably would have been maybe like positive compared to others, like based on December's numbers, not declining. I think they would have had an increase in probably the amount graded. And then turnaround times haven't been that great. Like I know some people have said it. Mine took like 10 weeks for bulk, which when they're this quiet and like not doing, they have obviously like a spot list, not doing that for a lot of people. Like some people are getting back in 4 weeks, like, and some people are in 10 weeks. Like there's inconsistency where there's still like kinks that they're working out, and they're like a 30-year-old company or something. So yeah, they still got to figure that out, but they're down to $15. Doing a special, I think it's collectors only, 1989 up to modern, and 199. Ugh, I hate that. That's 199 for the cap on the value. Really needs to be 399, 499, that kind of range, but it's capped out at 199 for the dollar value. So yeah, I thought that was interesting to highlight if any of you are interested right now in sending anything to grade, if you haven't graded before, or if you haven't been in, kind of on the forefront of keeping in touch with their prices, you kind of know that. But let's dive into what they actually did for January. So we're just kicking off with February now. It looks like PSA did a little over 1 million. I think it was 1,007,000. I think it was 1,007,000. So literally just over 1 million. And then 400,000 of that was TCG and non-sport. So about 40% is TCG, which for a sports authenticator, that's a pretty decent market share to do almost, $400,000 cards in a January, not a particularly crazy month for TCGs.
Yeah, real quick. So you had said PSA had gone down in January, and you think that was attributed to the pricing, right?
I think so. $19. Like I think a lot of the newer submissions, they would have got more towards the end of January and graded maybe more stuff from the beginning of January if they were speeding it up a bit.
Gotcha. Because I would think pretty much everything that was graded in January was probably submitted at the $15 tier in the months prior.
Yeah, well, Christmas probably threw it off. You could probably make all different decisions and stuff. There's some people that have been getting bulk back in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Like
I got some, yeah.
not even received and graded. Like that's probably like 2 or 3 weeks. So there are some. I think they probably would have got some more knocked out, possibly, but Maybe not. Maybe they had vacation. Maybe there was sickness in the office. There's a million things I guess we could speculate. But for them to be not at great price in that month and be the only grading company that declined month on month on how many they graded, like it seems,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm inferring, I guess.
Yeah, it's crazy that they did 4x what CGC did for TCG in like 11x almost what BGS did. BGS is going to be left in the dust. They're pretty much, they got their little niche pocket there. People chasing black labels, basically it. No set collectors inside of Beckett, which is a huge flaw. Being able to do it now with CGC is a huge plus. It's crazy. How do you feel about like the no subgrades at CGC and stuff like that? Because I just saw CGC recently posted a complete first edition base set. Somebody subbed it, no subgrades. A lot of people hate it, especially the Yu-Gi-Oh community. They totally hate non-subgrade cards. They think there's no reason to grade with CGC. A lot of them, unless they have those.
I think it's where you see the value. Like PSA doesn't have subgrades and they sell well, like sell for prices. But I think it's like you give a mouse a cookie. Like CGC gave subgrade options affordably at one point. Now they don't. Like they've like kind of counteracted what they had an attraction for, shall I say. Like people were attracted to it because like cheap subgrades and kind of know like what is wrong with the card. Like it's nice having that bit of transparency and clarity when you're buying a card, but in reality, like I think it's just like a bit more of shot themselves in the foot a little bit, I guess. I feel like with the subgrades, because like people clearly don't care about subgrades that much because a million cards got graded in January with PSA and they don't do subgrades.
Yeah.
You know, like can't be that big of a deal and that big of a need and necessity if like CGC did a 10th of what PSA did and they offer that service and probably not many of that 100 grand had subgrades. I don't think there's any way to pull that data. I don't think they collect it separately, like different cert number or anything. That just wouldn't be feasible unless it's on their systems. I'm sure they probably are internally, but I just don't think it's that big of a deal. And I like to think that it's a nice like little treat and a little added bonus for the people that really do care. It's there. Like you can pay it and get it. Like if you've got a pretty special sports card and you want to throw it to CSG, you know, the sports ball, or you want to, you got a really special like Pokemon card that's like an error or something. Like there are situations where like that probably is worth that investment, like getting that and like squaring that away, especially with some of the errors. You know, throw an extra $5 at it or whatever. Like I think there's definitely opportunity for that.
Yeah.
But just regular cards, for me, I don't think it makes much sense. You know?
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
I don't think so, but no, sure. Yeah. No, you just spun the wheels a whole bunch of the mud. No, I think you did for sure. Yeah, it's I don't like the subgrades. I utilize them now to just like increase my grade. For set collecting, obviously I want it to have no subgrades because then I get into the minutia of this one has an 8.5 and these all have 9s as subgrades and they don't match perfectly. So I'm not a huge fan. So definitely like the way it's trending. They did a good job, I think, not now, but a year ago, increasing the prices of subgrades to be the same cost as the slabs is freaking insane. So, yeah,
so
they're doing.
I think we should touch on the future of pricing and make some predictions here because I really think by summer PSA is going to be affordable again. Like I think it's going to be back to book pricing, even if it's $12. Like I think it's going to be a permanent lower than 15. I don't think we're talking single digits again. I think we'll probably pass that just because of like inflation and the way the world is right now. But I can definitely see us being at $12 full time by summer. maybe with $10 specials, that kind of thing. Collector, I think you're going to need to be a collector. You're going to have a registry. I feel like there's going to be some kind of criteria there, but it's going to be available. There's going to be some way to get it. CGC, I think they'll probably do something too. I think that'll put the pressure on a little bit.
Yeah. What do you think? Because right now it's still a special, right? They just reintroduced the special.
Yeah, 15.
So that is just that. I think that's going to go back to probably 19, maybe next month. And maybe they're just going to do this kind of back and forth thing, gauging the interest, and then they could throttle back with the 19 and still take in tons of cards. $12, because like right now we're not at $15 standard pricing because it's still special pricing. I could see 15 being like the flat, and I could see 12 being like almost like a Christmas time or a 4th of July thing that they just do it for a month or a couple weeks. And I don't think 12 will be the standard this year. It'd be crazy just because I know $15 is like the floodgates right now for people. Knowing it went up to 19, that scared a lot of people. They're like waiting for 15 to come back. I did a full send at $15. I know a lot of people. That's like the difference between 12 and 15 is a lot of money when you're doing huge volume. But if you're doing 20, 25 cards, it's not that big of a difference. So I think we're going to be not seeing 12 standard pricing this year, but
he said he wanted it back to 10. I remember watching him. He was talking with these two or three sports guys. He was in this like recorded podcast thing that they filmed.
Yeah.
I remember watching it at the time, and he was like, "Yep, we've got to get back to the same pricing. We've got to get it back down to $10. We've got to make it affordable for collectors, for people that aren't worried about selling it and flipping it and making stonks and stuff." I remember his exact words, obviously, but he basically said like, for collectors that care about grading cards for themselves and like are in the hobby and like need to affordably grade 50-cent cards for themselves at $10, like we have to get it to $10. I really believe him. I really do. I think generally when CEOs and owners and presidents, the higher ups of companies say things, they generally make it happen. Like they have enough of an ego where they're not going to be like,
they don't want to look stupid.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't want to look like a liar. Like it's not good on the company. Like everything he says reflects on the company. So if he representing the company said he wants to get it back to 10, I think he's going to get there. I don't know if it's this year. It could be. Maybe it's a special. Maybe at some point. I don't know. The other thing is like, what's the market going to look like this year? Have we got a new generation of Pokemon? That's huge. Like, what's that going to mean? What's that going to do? Like, if it's anything like the past couple of sets that have been out, we've got V-Star Universe and Crown Zenith and like some of these like crazy sets with amazing artworks, amazing promos and special boxes and stuff. Like, there's a lot going on. They're putting a lot of effort into it, and sports cards, some upcoming changes, like, with new season and stuff. I haven't heard anything too crazy happening, but there's still a lot of excitement about sports cards. I mean, SGC are killing it. Like, they're doing brilliant with sports cards right now. So there's definitely a lot of hobby there. I don't know. Like, I think it could be a busy year, and maybe that could stop it getting down to 12. You might be right. My gut says that it will be a gradual decline through the year.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how sports cards do with college players now getting paid for their likeness and stuff, how they treat that into the sports cards market, because those will be the rookie cards. Obviously, they do have Topps cards where they show pro athletes in their rookie jerseys sometimes, but now there's a lot more reason. Now these young kids can do it and get paid for it and sign these cards, do RPAs, rookie patch autos.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting year. I think there's got to be like a full-blown college NCAA football set that gets dropped this year, they would make a freaking killing. And that would be insane, I think, for grading. And yeah, the new Pokemon set is like, this is the first time that I've been in the hobby since 2003. Not even like since Neo Genesis. The last
Second
time I
gen,
experienced a new era of Pokemon coming out was Neo Genesis while I was in the hobby. So this is going to be really different because now I can buy packs. So it'll be cool. So I expect this set to be absolutely bananas. If it's anything, I haven't watched any of the Japanese openings at all. Kind of just saving myself for that right now. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how they treat it. Is there going to be a bunch of stuff? I know there's 3 hollows per pack. I know they're going to be doing sick things with the art again, like Crown Zenith and all these other ones. So it just keeps getting better and better and better. So it could get insane.
The fundamental of the card has even changed with the going away from yellow borders. Like,
yep,
there's a lot of change. I think that's going to be a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what to expect. I didn't expect a lot of 2022. There's a lot of craziness, a lot of really cool artworks. I didn't expect a Charizard UPC to drop and be a flop, essentially. Like, it'd be like such a cheap, easy to get item. Like, there's a lot of things that like threw me for a loop, both good and bad. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see, cool to experience. Hold my breath, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, one of your last things you had down here, I don't think you mentioned it yet. That PSA announces like their top graded characters and stuff. Charizard, Pikachu, and you put Mew down here, some of the most currently highest graded characters, beating out LeBron James, Michael Jordan. What seems to be month after month at this point, they're literally sitting below Pokemon cards, which is freaking insane to think that how big sports is and everything going on there. Are we wasting our time grading Pokemon cards? Like, it seems insane to me that we're able to flip these things into the market if you're flipping things into the market. And we're still the highest graded characters, beating out, like I said, Michael Jordan. How is there buyers out there still for this stuff? And it just freaking blows my mind. It blows my freaking mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it though.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think it's really cool that like every month people are buying and selling and grading and doing whatever with like Charizard and Pikachu's, and like people are still excited about it. Like, that's like grit. That's pure true grit of like what you love, like sticking at it, and like really shows the volume of people in it. Because I'm sure not everybody every month is buying a Charizard slab like every single month. Like, if you come in, you buy a couple, maybe once every 2 months or once a year, or you buy it for your cousin, or I don't know, whatever. Like, it's like it can't consistently be the same people buying the same do it every month. Like, there's some kind of revolving door and some kind of cyclical patterns, and there's got to be more to it, or less to it, should I say, than what you could probably put your finger on. But it is cool knowing that like Pokemon are doing so well. Like, the cards are just doing so, like, so many people love it. It's massive. It's huge, overriding huge sports stars that are seen as like idols in front of the media in the worldwide.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm not being funny, but like a fake dragon is doing better. Like, a cartoon dragon is doing better than you, and you like sweat your nuts every day, like busting to try and be the best in the world at like what you do, and you are the best in the world at what you do. And a cartoon dragon is doing better than you in like the collecting market of it. Like, that's crazy to me. So yeah, I don't know. Part of it also, which I think is interesting, is like how many cards of each is there, like how many variations. Like, I know there was that poll not too long ago that talked on people right now voted on what their favorite Pokemon is, and Greninja won. And I was like so confused that it was Greninja. Greninja's like nowhere to be seen because there's no Greninja cards. Like obviously we had the trainer box promo, but there really isn't any special recent Greninja cards. There's a couple of bits here and there like recently, but like there really isn't high volume. When we think about Charizards and Pikachus and Mews, I mean, there's been almost every set recently. There's been loads of them. So it's also kind of like what's available, I guess, to grade. Like it may not just be the fact that they're like the most loved or the most wanted or bought or sold. It's just kind of like that's the best of what you can have, you know, the highest volume.
Yep.
People love Pikachu, I tell you. People love it.
Yeah, is Pikachu, if you went to a mall and pulled 100 random people, would more people know Pikachu or LeBron James?
Pikachu all day, without doubt. Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah. Not like not even a doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
That's a good one for the comments. I'm really curious what other people listening think of that, because for me, like, not even close. There's so many people that don't give a rat's ass about basketball or baseball or football. Like they just don't watch any of that stuff. Don't know who they are. Everybody has seen like some version of Pikachu. It's such an easy identifiable like cartoon. You know, such an easy identifiable little character.
Yeah, it's something I would love to do one time. Is a poll like that, or a poll. I've mentioned it before, like having all the different slabs inside of a mall, so people just poll random people what they think is the best looking one, just so we get a honest opinion rather than all these graders, people grading cards thinking they know best, and get the real answer from people would be pretty cool and awesome content. I think somebody needs to do it because I don't got time.
I like the idea of asking people like I don't know, do you recognize this Pokemon? Do you know the name of it? Or like do either of these you know? And like you say, compare it to like a sports superstar and like I don't know, Bidoof or something, like just like random stuff and just see what they say. That'd be interesting. I think that'd be pretty entertaining too. We'd probably get some funny answers.
Hell yeah. Yep. Did you watch, side note, the Pokemon regional that just ended in Orlando this weekend?
I saw the pop up. I glanced at it, but I didn't invest any time into it. No.
Yeah, it's pretty. Lugia is as dominant as ever. It's pretty awesome. Halucha, Lugia, they're dominating. It's pretty awesome to see. So, pretty much, I watched like 3 of the last 4 matches. A lot of mirror matches, but it was really cool. I enjoy watching some actual TCG games get played. Really good presentation they do on YouTube. It's really easy to watch. You can see what the cards are. The camera views are awesome. So big props to Pokemon to doing that. Really
quality,
good.
Yeah,
really quality. It's cool for sure.
Yeah, I have watched a couple, and they are like genuinely like good quality. It's like something like you feel like you should like be paying to watch, like kind of quality. Like it's good stuff. I played against the YouTuber PTCG Vlogs. Like he's awesome. He does really cool videos. He plays in person. He plays online. He's pretty invested in the actual game, not just the cards and slabs and stuff and openings. He plays the game. I played against him on the app the other day. He didn't even pull out like a V. Like he just played basic Pokemon. Absolutely wiped the floor with me. Like annihilated me. Like he is an absolute pro. And what he did was he built supporters and trainers and items. He built everything around those basic Pokemon that like the Pokemon didn't even need to do anything.
Yeah.
Like all the support around it just completely led the thing. and he was using a lot of cards that pulled and a lot of special abilities that pulled stuff from his deck.
Sounds like Lugia almost in the Halucha deck, but
it was. I felt like I was watching a show. Like I wasn't even in it. Like I wasn't even really doing anything. Like he just ran it, like steamrolled the whole thing. I think I clicked like 2 buttons the whole process, and it was really cool. Like watching it, I was like kind of like inspired by how well he designed that deck, and how elementary I guess mine was. Like I do pretty well usually, like fighting random people with it. I would say I'm like 55-60% win rate, like something like that. Like
that's not bad.
Not terrible. I'm not losing all the time, but like I feel like I've got that slight edge, like depending on who I get hooked up with. Just because I blast people with the Pikachu VMAX, the flying Pikachu VMAX, and basic Pokemon can't attack him. So if I would have got a couple of good attacks off, he wouldn't have been able to do much. He just steamrolled me so much that I couldn't do anything to get to that point. Like, I couldn't even get energies on my cards. Like, he was just dominating the whole thing. Right. So it's like interesting seeing that and just knowing like those guys. The reason I'm talking about that is those guys, you're talking about in the battles in person. Like, if that's PTCGC vlogs and he's like battling Professor Oak on a random weekday, like as a normal thing, these guys in those competitions, they must be like really, really like seriously set up with a deck. Yep. Like, I've seen them, but until you play against them, you don't realize how bad your deck is, and like that's why their deck is like so good, because yours is so bad. It's just really interesting. So yeah, I like watching that stuff. I think it's entertaining, especially like you say with the quality of it. Like it does feel like you're watching a show almost.
Have you ever competed in person trading card game tournament?
No.
Yeah, it's a different kind of high. It's like you get graded cards back. That's a huge dopamine hit. Sitting down across the table from somebody 1v1 trying to wreck his life and make him go home crying is another great high, and it's a huge dopamine hit. I'm going to a local Yu-Gi-Oh tournament this Wednesday, which will be fun, playing like an older format, which will be really looking forward to it. Haven't done it in a long time. I cannot effing wait. It's going to be cool. I love that. It's a freaking rush, man. It's I'd recommend anybody get a chance to do it. Do it in person's way different than online. You'll make misplays because you'll be nervous because it's your first time or whatever, but it is a freaking rush. It's good, friendly competition. Definitely get out there and do it. Go to your local.
Love it. Yeah, I love that. I love the idea of it. For me, it's time. I mean, 2 young kids. It's very difficult to find any time to do anything right now. But yeah, I love the idea of that. I think if I was in a spot where I could, I'd already be doing it. Like I have the passion. I enjoy it live. Just on the live app. Like it's fun enough for me to the point where I will stay up, and play against him, on a Wednesday night, whatever it was, whatever the other night that we played. I would play it in person. I think what's cool also in person is it's not just a game, right? Like you're around other people that like what you like, and you like can maybe open packs together, or maybe do a trade, or shoot the shit, whatever. Like you can like talk about stuff and just be around it. I think that environment, I imagine, is like an escalated version of being at the card store, like looking at stuff and being in that environment. Like it's like more, I don't know, intense version. Like how would you describe the vibe, like the feeling and like the people and experience and stuff?
It's awesome. Like thinking of like old school, going to regional tournaments or national tournaments. It was for Yu-Gi-Oh! You're in a room for a regional. The regionals would have like 130 people. Every person's got a freaking trade binder. Like similar for Pokemon regionals, people have trade binders and people are selling, flipping stuff. It's so cool to be able to walk up to each individual person, look at the things they're collecting, find some hidden gems inside these binders. that's really cool. Just to look at what they have and admire some of their collectibles. And like when I got to meet Mertz down in Denver and he had his binder, looking through his binder and seeing a version of a collection I've never really seen. Somebody art collecting, I believe just the Camillas. So that was really cool. Something I'd never seen before. And being able to do that with an endless supply of people at my beck and will right there is really cool. I could just tap on the shoulder, hey, you got trades, and just start flipping through the binder, checking out like, why the hell you got this? Why do you got that? That's sweet. Like, it's cool. It's a vibe for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen some of my mail day videos. Like, I got 2 packages here, like retrospects. Just sent me something. I'm gonna have to open up. And Derek Lavender, shout out to both of you guys. Look at this thing.
What you got a new heck? iPad, Gen 14.
Gosh. Gen 4. Yep. Just need. Oh my god! Like, people send me stuff, and like I send stuff out like too. It's like, you know, I'm obviously a gift giver. I, you know, enjoy it. Like, part of why we wanted to facilitate the Secret Santa. Like, that was a huge part of like something that I felt passionate about. But people send me stuff, so I can only imagine if like I was in person with those people, like what I could do. You know, giving and trading and just like more opportunity for like that excitement of all that kind of stuff. You know, swapping and doing. So yeah, I'm envious. I don't have a card store that close. There's one that I take my daughter to swimming lessons, and there's one that's like down the road from there, but they have ETBs, like modern ETBs. They're listed for like $80. Like, it's just like, yeah, single packs are $12 to $15 for modern packs. Like, they're just like,
ouch.
A little, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if people are buying them or because it's like the only one in that area. I don't know. It's a little expensive. Some of the stuff was like affordable. I've bought a couple of things just when I go in. I normally try and buy some stuff, but yeah, I don't know if I have anything that close where I could like jump into gaming and that kind of stuff. Maybe I should set something up.
Orlando Collecticon. Bring your deck, get your cheeks clapped by Echo Base Collectibles in person.
How many weeks away? Is it 2 or 3?
Roughly 3. Yeah.
3 weeks, something like that. Yeah.
I think 2 more podcast uploads after this one. So definitely have to talk a lot of Collecticon on the one before the Collecticon or something. But
yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm actually surprised. A lot of people, when we first started talking about it and it was kind of unveiled that it was going to happen last year, I was trying to get some excitement because I missed out on Denver, and it like broke my heart a little bit. It was like a little rough.
A lot of FOMO.
My God, I felt like I was literally the only person that didn't go. Right?
Yeah, Echo Base didn't get to go either, but
Echo didn't. So no Oak, no Joe, like the 2 lab coat guys. Like, literally everybody else went, and I was like sat rocking in a chair. Like, I was like, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. Like, it was horrible. But now I have this opportunity. Hopefully everything goes to plan and I can still come and like nothing like crazy happens, because I really want to get there and like see everyone. And I'm surprised actually how many people are going, because you know, going back to my point, like it seemed like some people were maybe not planning on going because of the craziness of having to get all the way to Florida, and there's closer ones to them and stuff. Like, it is a bit out of the way for a lot of people in the hobby. So I'm genuinely excited about how many people are going. It seems to be a pretty decent group. So I'm going to bump in, hopefully get some selfies and some squeeze hugs from people, and be able to catch up with some. Yeah, I'm excited.
How tall are you again?
Almost 6'4". I'm like a smidge under 6'4".
Perfect. It'll be a good normal hug then. I'm 6'3", so it won't be too awkward.
I'm 6'3". Yeah, technically, yeah. I'm 6'3". So there's not many that are at height, but you'll see us, I guess.
Yeah,
all you guys listening.
Kanto Shark's one of the taller ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How tall is he?
6'7". He played like almost pro baseball.
Yeah, and then we got Dan. He's tall. I think he said he was 6'3" too.
Yeah, he wears high tops. That's how he gets his extra 3 inches. No, I'm just joking. But talk about these auction houses real quick. The
Yep.
obviously Golden, I think about this is their second week of weekly auctions. It's now directly incorporated with like PSA. You could submit to Golden the marketplace through PSA's website. That's pretty insane. Have you taken a look at seeing some of the things they're offering in these weeklies or no?
I glanced. I saw they're doing a lot of like ads and banners and stuff places. So I did click one. I had a little look. I actually looked on how to submit to it, and it looked pretty simple. Like it was pretty clean and clear too. So I think for sellers, it might be good in that fashion. I don't know what prices are going to look like with it being like regular. I'm not sure. I guess we're going to see, but I think it's good. More options.
I think PSA could, in the future, offer a discount grading if you confirm submission to their marketplace.
Like no control over it. Like it's flat out going. Yeah.
Because they're going to get your consignment percentage. Yeah. So I could see them like, yeah, we'll do $10 grading, but it has to go into the auction. That could do very well because PWCC does not have a PSA membership because Golden and PWCC are competitors. They are only set up with BGS, CGC, and SGC grading middleman. They don't have the PSA option. So PSA giving you that option through Golden, I think, could help that significantly. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on in the weeklies. There is some crazy sealed things this week. Like I noticed there was a EX Team Rocket Returns display case. Sorry if somebody was looking for that and I'm blasting it here, but there's that. There's another display case inside of there ending in a couple days. Some pretty cool stuff. So I could see that. What do you think about that? I think that could be an option for them.
Yeah, I could see that. My only reservation is I tried it with PWCC through CGC with the $20 or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a fantastic experience.
I know. Yeah.
I didn't know where the cards were. I didn't really make money. Like I kind of felt like they were like the winners big style. Like they really like took from the buyer side. Like I just felt like it was lose-lose for everyone involved, honestly. But PSA has a premium price wise, so I don't know. I think pricing would be a part of it, and maybe test it first and just see how strict is it. Excuse me, sorry guys. Is it the same graders and it goes in the same pile and it's anonymous, or is it a different subdivision of graders that are trained just to do that stuff and knock it out and get it over to the auction? I've got questions. I don't know if it's like I don't know if I deserve the transparency either. Like I don't know if I deserve the answers to my questions, but I like the idea of it being anonymous and in the same flow as everyone else's submissions. I just don't know how realistic that is to facilitate. Like it won't physically be the same way. So I don't know.
Yeah, I could see Baseball Card Exchange and Ken Golden just grading the stuff themselves. That's like
Joe.
That's a joke. The ultimate grading combo right there.
He's a character, that guy, isn't he? Like he is.
He's got some good collectibles though. I'll give him that. He's got some bangers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of bangers, last night and actually ending right now is the PWCC Weekly on a Monday night. For the first time in over a year of them doing weeklies, they have one ending on a Monday because their website took an absolute massive deuce in the middle of their auction. Probably roughly 30 minutes before the extended bidding happened last night, their website completely crashed. I was live streaming the auction for the first time since June. literally the first time, whatever, since June, I've live streamed that auction and it crashed. It's insane to me. There was like 3,500 Pokemon items in a single auction ending at that night. I think there was almost 18,000 items, I believe, inside of the PWCC weekly. There's got to be a too much traffic problem. How are they still having this issue, man? Over a year into it, I was just beside myself. I'm like, PWCC, man, you don't need, like, poor Pokey Chloe's live streaming also, and she's got PWCC in her chat because she's sponsored. And they're like, oh, we're working on it. Oh my gosh, we're working on it. I'm like, dude, it's already past like 10:30. Extended bidding's over. Like, good night. The thing's done. I would be, if I was a seller, I'd be furious that my stuff is ending on the first ever Monday night auction.
Yeah.
I'm missing out on some steals right now. I'd tell you what, it's crazy.
Do you think there's something more to it? Do you think maybe it was a SQL injection or like some kind of attack to like try and maybe a brute force, like throwing a lot of traffic at it on purpose, you know, maybe to try and knock it down a little bit, like it,
that'd be
possible.
Insane.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that side of the world with DDoS attacks and all that stuff. I've seen obviously the PSN servers back in the day. I'd hear about it and all this stuff, but yeah, it seems like something you could really ruin somebody's effing day by doing that to them the night of their auction. They're already at peak traffic, so you probably just need to do it a little bit and maybe send them over the edge. So
yeah, a small, you don't need a little spiderweb of network to run a DDoS attack. Like realistically, like you could do it. Like not one person with a computer, but like there's people out there that could easily stop that website from working during traffic, like you're saying, whilst there's people on it. I don't know. It seems far-fetched. I'm probably overthinking it because I am more in that realm. That stuff's always more prevalent, and like jump to first thoughts with those kind of things. But in reality, it's probably just like, yeah, there's a lot of people searching and trying to do things and click things, and probably just overloaded their servers, and they've not invested enough into their IT, their infrastructure. Like it's probably their networking, that kind of stuff. They just maybe just aren't up to par with what they're doing, and databases getting queried too quickly and too often, you know, during that time, and just something, flipped it. Yeah, something just give it a little blip, and boom, you're done. It is interesting thinking about going for Monday because I kind of, you were talking about like maybe there's some steals going right now, but they got an extra day of eyes on the items. Like it could potentially, like maybe someone else uncovers it and hears, oh, the item that I thought I missed out on last night actually is, I'm still in the running to be able to get it tonight. Like maybe some stuff could go a little higher.
Yeah, and also, that, and they also, this week was the first time ever they introduced a new auction style where you don't have to pre-bid on items. So before this week, you would have to pre-bid on any item you wanted to do extended bidding on into the night. So now, if you discover a card an hour into extended bidding, you can place a bid on it for the first time. Like that never existed. So there was my thoughts were that this auction also was going to go a lot longer than normal because I wouldn't be just limited to the 4 cards I'm bidding on. I could be discovering new things I haven't even seen yet because there's 18,000 effing items ending in the matter of an hour and a half, which is insane. So
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's they're doing good things, but got to clean up the IT work, guys. Come on, crazy.
Do you like the extended bidding change?
As a seller, I would. As a buyer, no. No, it's gonna probably increase it's gonna be harder. You still can't snipe. That's not
kind of
happening.
You can kind of, like not true sniping, but like you could come in an hour into extended bin, like you're saying, like in one of those 2-3 minute increments that it gets down to.
The event after 45 minutes, I think, or maybe an hour, it turns into 1 minute increments. So pretty quickly. So if you're sniping it with 1 minute increments, that's your best bet. They get a 1 minute window to respond essentially. So, but yeah, I enjoy it, but I do think there's going to be less opportunity to be getting hidden gems because there's going to be more people looking at more things. They have more time. So last night the prices were freaking strong on PWCC, as a lot of people could attest to. So
was there any CGC games?
No, I actually don't think I even looked up CGC. I looked up WADA and VGA. I didn't even think about looking up CGC graded video games.
No.
Yeah.
And you looked up the other ones just to, oh my God.
I didn't
next
even,
time.
Yeah. I probably didn't even think that they would already be in the auction or not. So now I'm going to look back and see that a nice game probably sold for like $5 or something because nobody else did.
I mean, seriously, like that's the first thing I was thinking of. People aren't aware of that being a search term. That's not something like people are naturally going to PWCC to search for. Like maybe there's a couple of steals there, but I was thinking that yesterday. I just didn't get around to poking at it. That's why I was curious, like if you were watching any or anything, just kind of tracking it, but clearly not. I'm surprised. That didn't spring to mind for you.
Nope. Complete lapse of judgment there. Complete lapse. It's the way it goes, though. Yeah, looking forward to doing PWCC weeklies here on Sundays. That's going to be awesome. Getting back into the swing of that. Really excited. Really excited. Definitely have to have you on.
Wait, are you going to carry on doing that on Sundays, you mean?
Yes. So pending the recording of this, if we need to record on a Sunday, then I'll bounce whatever that live stream. But yeah, I don't want to do Heritage on Wednesdays anymore, so that would drop in replacement of it. So that's the plan for now.
Heard it here first. News alert. That's exciting. Yeah, I really enjoyed those. I didn't realize it had been June since you kind of cut it out. I really enjoyed listening in and looking through that stuff, as well as bidding sometimes or searching through it while I was listening. That's exciting thought to have you back there. It's fun.
Yeah. Yep, it's good stuff. And the only other one, the Heritage, I was going to mention, Heritage Auction, I think is doing their first ever only VHS and home entertainment signature auction. So before they've done signature auctions that they've kind of splashed in movies and stuff like that. Same with Golden. They've had premiere auctions where they splash in a few movies here and there. But they actually sent this freaking book, and it's all DVD or not DVDs, VHS is inside of this thing, and it's rattling off here on the 17th, and it's gonna be pretty insane. I'm a huge horror buff. I think we both liked the Saw series, right? Was that you I was talking to?
I loved it. Yeah.
I wish there was. Yeah, that just missed the VHS window. I don't think Saw 1 was on VHS at all.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
Just missed it, or else I would have that. But I have the DVD. But
what year was it? 2005? It probably was
2007. No, yeah, it was definitely earlier. It was 2004, 2005. Yeah.
So I mean, just as VHS were out and DVDs were really a thing, DVDs. Because I remember early 2000s, VHS were everywhere still. So I think that was just as they come into it. So yeah, you're probably right. That would be cool, having the original Saw in a good grade displayed. That's a huge franchise, monumental. Everyone knows the Saw movies. They set a precedent for that extreme kind of scary movie that it had the gore, but also a bit of a crazy storyline that you weren't quite sure what was going to happen. Not just gore of getting chased and beat up and stuff. It was okay, so what's the twist? There was smart mind game stuff with it, which was fun.
Yep. No, I love that first movie, man, where you find out that guy laying on the floor is alive the whole time. It's
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler if you haven't seen it. And it's been out for 21 years or whatever. Yeah, no, the movie is nuts. I need to watch it again. It's been too long.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
wouldn't mind one of the Pokemon movies. I got a couple of Pokemon VHS. I think that'd be cool to have in a box
yep,
too, displayed and a nice clean, sharp one. Mine looks like it, was used as a fishing tackle box, but it's fun to have. It'd just be really cool to have like a clean, sharp one. Just like some of the games, they look clean. Like your stuff on your display, like it looks tidy and sharp. Like it's cool. It's a cool look, especially with those CGC boxes too. Like you were
yeah,
saying,
yep.
CGC aren't doing VHS yet, though, right?
No, I don't know if there's intention, but right now Beckett is in the game, and VGA has a
Hmm.
VHS grading company as well. So
I think if this auction does really well, that could perk some ears up for maybe there's potential there. I guess it's what they need to look at is not so much resale value because they're not getting a cut of that, but like the volume of submissions. Like, would a lot
yeah,
of people send those in to try and get that secondary market value? That Yeah, it's interesting. Do you ever feel like it'd be cool to be in on some of those like boardroom like team discussions on those kind of stuff?
oh yeah, that'd be sick. It'd be really cool to hear some
Like
of the
the,
inside thoughts and the thoughts
and
behind the marketing and what they're doing. That'd be awesome.
like, did they have what I just said? Did they talk about that a year ago? Like, am I like a year behind and they've already
Yeah,
been planning it, or is it like, oh yeah, maybe we should get into that? Like, I don't know. I was curious. PSA, I think, out of anyone, is probably doing the less new stuff with what they service, like what they offer. Obviously, the auction is like slightly different to the grading. It's like it would enable more grading, but like it's the same slab, it's the same label, it's the same grade. Like there's not a whole lot changing. They've added in, which I touched in the other slab episode, they have added in a lot more like newer TCGs and more open to grading other stuff like in their wheelhouse. But nothing like crazy. Like they haven't just suddenly started grading VHS or like nothing crazy. Like obviously they have the other companies, but I mean PSA specifically, they haven't started doing anything too crazy. Kind of
yeah,
sticking with what they know. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see what some of the decisions and changes and new things that happen. Oh, they did add Funko though. Yeah, right. They did add Funko Pops. That was a curveball I did not see coming. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe some other companies will start doing some other things. Maybe I don't know, face masks from COVID or something. I'll start slabbing that stuff as a memory.
yeah, yep. It'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that definitely plays out. And I've seen some crazy VHS sales already on some golden
Mm-hmm.
auctions. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to check it out.
What do you think's the best? Like, would be the best one out of the ones that you saw in the magazine? Like the highest
Definitely,
grossing.
yeah, definitely the Star Wars series, episode 4, 5, and 6 will be S tier. I don't know what beats them. The Godfather movies, maybe.
Hmm. He said there's a Rocky too, right?
Yeah, right.
Probably a decent one.
Yeah. Rocky movie, all those, the Jurassic Park, some of the original
Mm-hmm.
Batmans, all those
E.T.
iconic VHS. Yeah, so yeah, original Spielberg's, Titanic, stuff like that. All the blockbusters, actually blockbusters. Those will be the bangers. So
Virtually, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. When you could call something a blockbuster, yeah, that's funny.
yeah. One of the I want to talk a little bit about taxes because it is peak peak. We're not no financial advice here, just opinions. Um, I had actually just talked to a colleague today. He is somebody who does garage sales and stuff. He had buying, selling stuff, selling on eBay, Facebook, Marketplace, stuff like that. And he is completely new of last year. And I wanted to talk to him a little bit because I know he had been thinking and stressing about some of the taxes stuff. So he actually pulled the trigger today. And after I talked to him, called the CPA because I maybe got him all worried about it. Because I'm like, dude, they have appointments, they get filled, and we're in February. April is tax day on the 15th or something like that. So your taxes need to be submitted in 2 months or in the next 2 months. And this is a whole different thing for me, sole proprietor. And I've been doing a lot of research on whether it's a hobby or can I claim taxes on my losses or my gains, or how does it work? And actually, there's actually a clause that says if it is a hobby, like if what you're doing is considered a hobby, you cannot claim your losses. So the cost of goods that went into your hobby. So I've been going back and basically the way you determine that, it seems, is that you, in 5 years of running this sole proprietorship or business or LLC or whatever, you want to be profitable probably about 3 of the 5 years. You could show a loss, but you don't want to be showing a loss every 5 years because you're not really working towards a goal likely of being profitable. And that's kind of what a business is. A hobby is you're probably going to be taking L's every year because it's a hobby. You do it at your pleasure, to leisure. So just think about all this different stuff going on because you don't want to get caught with your pants down. I don't think, like, are you going to be claiming all of this? Because if they end up auditing you in 3 years and you claim this as a business and you've been in the negative, however many years, you're going to be going back and losing some serious dough because it was just a hobby for you. I know it probably could apply to a ton of people that this is just a hobby. You've ripped tons and tons of packs. You're collecting. So you just need to figure out the difference in that. Because, like I said, I don't want to see people getting wrecked. Are you financially planned? Are you doing anything special with your taxes, or what are you doing without getting too deep into it?
Did it myself at the weekend. The biggest advice I would say probably to give anyone is to set yourself up for recording everything from day one. Just record everything and do it as you go. Keep a spreadsheet, keep software program, whatever, plug it all in there, because when it comes to tax season, you just go beep, boop, beep, done. Yep. It's a 2 hour long beep, boop, beep, but it's still like a beep, boop, beep, like compared to compiling a year's worth of data or 2 years or going back 3 years, whatever, and it's there forever. Like, you can just store it. So that's the biggest advice I would give, like, personally, in my experience, is like what you're saying. Research what it is that you need to, like, do. Like, do you need to like be profitable? Do you need to show this? Can you claim that? Like, just figure that out, because everyone's different. Like, with different states have different rules and different, like, licensing, things you can claim, can't. Like, there's just a million different things. So just make sure you understand the two things. First, you need to know what you're doing and you're keeping record of what you're doing so you can explain it. But secondly, like, you can't make money for free. like some people expect that they can, like, make money and not pay tax, or make money and, like, not tell people or whatever. Like, that's great on a small scale, but if you, like, actually want to make money and run money through PayPal or run money through eBay or whatever, there's a paper trail. Like, you need to be accountable for that. You're an adult.
Yep. Yeah, legally, any money you gain through selling things, consigning things, like I consign through Z&G Emporium, is a form of income and should be taxed.
Yep.
So if you're not doing it, you're cutting edges. But legally, you need to be paying taxes on all of that. You do not. I think they did extend the 1099 rule for eBay another year, where I think the threshold is still 20,000. I'm not sure. 20,000. So they're not going to give you a 1099, I don't think, this year, unless you hit that certain really high threshold again. But next year, I think they are going to do it, and they're going to have enough tax people or something. I don't know. They delayed it for some reason. Not positive why exactly, but but technically all sales you did through eBay is a form of income, and you should report that to the IRS. So you're just cheating yourself. Like Oak said, track all of your stuff early on. Look at these different types of methods, cash methods, or different types of things you could do. There's tons of YouTube channels out there. The one is Not Your Dad's CPA. Highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of great advice, free advice out there. I forget what the other one is. Dan Ketchumall recently linked. I had watched a bunch of his videos as well. Basically a reseller that he does his own taxes as well through TurboTax or something, but keeps really good books. Has done it for so long and knows what he's doing. But definitely take the time, because like me, I think it was March last year I had my first meeting with the CPA just to look at what I did for the first 3 months of the year. I was like, does this look like dog shit, or do I need to fine tune something? So get ahead of it. If you're not doing it this year, next year, make sure you got your ducks in a row, because changes are upon us, and it's going to be slamming down hard.
You know, it's really cool too, with what you're talking about, and like keeping record and just knowing what you're doing. There's a couple of really good positives out of it that are like, you probably wouldn't think of it at first place. So first of all, is you know what you're succeeding at. Like you can see like what areas you're making profit, which is like should be the goal. If you're selling stuff, you shouldn't be selling stuff to make a loss. Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Unless you're me throwing stuff at people like as gifts, on occasions. But yeah, you should be selling stuff to make a profit. So you need to know if you're making profit. Like that's like pretty simple. You don't know that if you're not keeping track and you're not monitoring what you spend on the item. I mean, you've seen a couple of my spreadsheet ones. I break it down to like real simple small plays or whatever a couple of times. Like, what did you buy it for? What do you spend on shipping? What do you spend on grading? What do you sell it for? What's your fees? Like you need to like know where you stand with that stuff. So that's a really good positive in like helping you understand, a bit more knowledgeable in what you're doing, what's working, what isn't working. Maybe do more of this, maybe do less of that. It's going to help guide you. You probably, if you do that, you're probably going to make more money next year just because you've got a bit of clarity on like the money you did or didn't make this year. The second part of it, I think, is just confidence and like enjoyment. Like it feels nice to know that you made money. Like even if you have to pay taxes, you made a profit doing something that you love and enjoy. Hopefully this is slightly linking back to the spicy topic there, but like hopefully this is something you enjoy and you're a part of, and like it's not a chore or a task and it doesn't feel like work. It's something that you're having fun doing. You're trading, you're selling, you're buying, you're grading, whatever, cracking slabs, all the different aspects. Like I really like the idea of everyone doing that and like still making money, like that money being passed around in some fashion to people that are like net buyers. I would say a lot of people don't sell, so it's harmless in that sense. They're not interested. So yeah, that like enjoyment and the confidence just in it, like you get more and more confident. You know what you're doing, you're making money in it, like you know where you're going, you got a bit of direction. Like if we're talking about taxes and like reselling and selling, that kind of stuff, like that's a serious topic that you brought up, Josh. Like you should be serious about it. Like everyone here should be serious. Like try and make money.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to make money. Like that's why businesses exist. They're not charities. Charities are a different thing. Businesses are there to make money. It's okay to make money. Like you probably 99% of you work for a business that makes money, takes money from people, or you work for yourself and the goal is to make money. Like that's okay. That's like how the world works. So yeah, just reassurance like on that. Like it's okay to feel confident and good about it, but also like remember, enjoy it, keep track, know where you're at, be smart. Rock Pokemon, I'm sure you've heard him talk when he talks about what's his phrase? Make money in the hobby, but like do it intelligently. Like I think it's kind of poking that bear a little bit. Like he's kind of like saying like be smart about it, enjoy it, make money, and everyone's golden. Yeah.
So that's our 10-minute segment on taxes. So
Let's wrap it. We're an hour and 24. Did we go over or under last week?
I don't know.
That one.
I think probably getting close to longer, but I would like to hear. You got anything special going on this week? You think?
I just asked that because of Dan. Dan he'll let us know. What do I have going on this week? I have a couple of things to open, which I'm excited about. That's going to be interesting to show what's going on there. And I need to get organized. I don't know if you guys can see, I just got like random piles of slabs and singles and stuff everywhere. And I got some coins and I don't know, all different random stuff. I got to get organized and I got to get more. I got to find time to like set myself up a little bit, ready for CollectCon and some selling. Maybe I'll throw a few consignments. I'm just debating what I'm going to do with some of the stuff that I've got, digging out old things and new things and whatever. But yeah, nothing too crazy. What about you?
Like I said, going to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament for the first time in like forever. Wednesday, hoping to get my 504 card PSA submission back this week. It's been in QA2 for like a week now, so it should be happening. The grade should be available any minute. And I got some pretty awesome Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, World of Warcraft cards. Like it's diverse, so I'm really looking forward to it.
That's the hardest. QA, that section of all of them, QA2 is for me is the one that's like, you're like right at the cusp. Like, just move.
Usually it's pretty quick when it gets to QA2. I'd say within 2 weeks, usually something's happening because my last submission that I got back
recently
a week ago was in QA2 for like 48 hours, but it was smaller. It was like 50 cards. So, and that box is still sealed and I need to open it. I've just been way too busy. So that's going to be happening. I'm going to need to open that box. Yeah. So just getting back in the swing of work. Just did an audit today and it's been awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, I was just checking my list from one I did a few months ago. Yeah, I was in QA2 for 2 weeks. So yeah, that makes sense. The Yu-Gi-Oh, going back to the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament you start out with, is that like local? Is it you driving like 10 minutes or you driving an hour, or like, is it anyone you know there? Is it anyone that you've been making friends with? Like, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but like just generally like life-wise, like how's that fitting into your life right now?
Yeah, it's an hour away, but basically how I discovered I went to my dad's house, which is near there I was dog sitting for 24 hours. And I went over there just to check out the local card shop. And they're like, yeah, we do these tournaments every Wednesday. I'm like, that's freaking dope. I have one of those decks. It's from like 2008, 2009 is like a certain format. So I have those cards. It's ready to go. My friend has several of those decks and is ready to go. So me and him are going to go. He was one of my groomsmen in the wedding I had, and just we're both super nerds, so we're going to go there and nerd out. I don't know anybody at the tournament besides him. But it's just going to be getting to know a bunch of new people, seeing their freaking binders, seeing if they got any freaking bangers in there. And I got to make a trade binder now, which I'm looking forward to doing, and going down there and just haggling. Maybe I'll take a couple slabs with me. Might get booed out of the place, but we'll see.
Are you going to take some other TCGs as well?
No, probably not. I'll have some Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh in my binder. Yeah, but that's it. So
yep. I can't help but feel like some of those people probably do have, like tinkering around. They have interest in other areas too. Some of the other TCGs or games or VHS. I don't know. Like just the collecting spirit and like the playing spirit. It's just like a lot of it's synonymous with each other, right? It's like I'm intrigued by all of it. People post Vice cards, Black Vice, whatever it's called. Like they post that stuff, and I'm like, I got no idea what it is, but that looks really cool. Like it's just interesting. To see that stuff. I'd probably swap a few cards. I'd trade a couple for like a cool Vice card.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. But yeah, sounds like a fun week for you. That PSA return's going to be a banger. You're going to do it in one video. You're going to break it down.
I don't even know how I want to do it. That'd be a long ass video. So probably multiple videos.
Correct answer. I'm excited.
Yeah, it'll be good, man. Looking forward to it.
It is. Cool. Let's wrap it up. thank you everyone for your continued support. We have had a blast doing this. We're now into the second month. We started in January, now in February. We're well into it. We're enjoying it. You guys have been brilliant in the comments. Please make sure you post your own spicy comment this week. I want to throw some likes, some upvotes on some of those comments. I want to see what you guys are
down there.
about. Seriously, let's have some fun. Let's get some fun going. So yeah, excited for that. Thank you again. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a good one, everybody. Peace.
See ya.